morning, everyone. Guess what I'm doing today? It's Sunday and it's time to make my mom's chicken and dumplings for the week. So that's what I'm doing this morning. There is a great video out there on how to make easy homemade chicken and dumplings that doesn't take very much time. So be sure and go check that out. But we're going to talk about one of the reasons why we eat chicken and dumplings and certain things that we do to avoid viruses and bacterial infections this time of year. Things are ramping up with the flu and sinus infections and colds, and not to mention the coronavirus, which I think we're okay here in the States so far. But let's talk about what me and my family do to prepare for bacterial and viral infections to boost our immune system and keep us going strong during these times. Our chicken and dumplings are done, and so now we're going to talk about what me and my family do to offset the cold and the flu and the viral season time of the year, which is right now. It's January 26th, and this is the time when things are ramping up. And there's a lot of illnesses going around work. There's a lot of illnesses going around school. There's a lot of illnesses going around just period. So let me give you a little bit of my background. I am severely allergic to mountain cedar, and this past holiday season, Christmas and Thanksgiving, is the first holiday season where I did not suffer a sinus infection. Sinus infections are terrible, guys. I can't emphasize to you, and a lot of people discount them and talk about how, allergies and sinuses really aren't a big deal, but they really are. My sinus infection got so bad 3 years ago that I had to have surgery. I was on antibiotics for 4 months, and I was on 14 different antibiotics. It started in November, and Thanksgiving I was running like 102 fever. Christmas I was running like 102 fever. It kept going, and come around February, my ENT stated that I needed to have sinus surgery to go in and clean out what was going on, and so I did. And I want to tell you that that's not an easy surgery. They made it seem like it was really a simple procedure, and that I was going to feel so much better afterwards, and I was going to be on the mending way. But let me tell you something, it took me about a year to get over that sinus surgery. It was very invasive, and it was very traumatic to me, and for I don't know, 6 to 8 months after that surgery, I spent time in bed every weekend. I do work full time, so I did have to go to work 5 days a week, but on Saturdays and Sundays, I spent most of my time in bed. And so me and my husband started looking for ways to get back on the health track and to try to be proactive on my sinus infections and my allergies. And these are the ways that we came up with, and I will be happy to tell you that since I started incorporating these into my days and into my life, guess what? Knock on quartz, I've not had any sinus infection for a very long time. But I do fight it, guys, but I fight it naturally. I don't want to be on antibiotics for an extended amount of time. It messes up your stomach and it messes up your gut. And there's all kinds of things that medicines can do to your body that you really don't want to happen to you. So I'm going to show you what we do naturally to get ourselves on the mend and to stay on the mend. This is something that my husband and I do at least 3 to 4 times a week. And we did take some of this from another video. I'll be up front on that with you. But we've added some things to it to customize what we go through this time of year. Okay guys, I know this seems like a lot and it looks like it's a lot of money, but if you add to it gradually, you can certainly meet your goals on all of this. But let's talk about what I do every single day. And every single day, I take 2 droppers of zinc, 2 droppers of selenium, and 2 droppers of potassium. The zinc, of course, is good this time of year for flu and colds. The selenium is good for my high blood pressure, which I do have high blood pressure. And right now I'm using this, and I've not had to take my high blood pressure medication. I'm not saying get off your medication, I'm just saying what it's done for me. And you can certainly try it out yourself. And then the potassium is just plain good for you. So another couple of things that we do is I have a Health Aid kombucha, and this is good. It's a probiotic for your gut. And because I was on those 14 antibiotics, this is what I choose to take to try to heal my gut and try to keep things flowing and try to keep everything on the even out. So another thing that we do is we make our homemade chicken bone broth. This is made from organic chicken bones. So when I make the chicken and dumplings for my mom, or the chicken and rice that I make for my dogs, I will take the bones and I will put them in a crock pot and go back and check out that video because I made one, and we will make our own homemade chicken broth. This is just all around good. My daughter has migraines, and I sent her home with a couple of jars of this, and one day when she had a migraine, I told her to go and heat that up and take it, and she called me like 20 minutes later and said it was much better for her. So we do the homemade chicken bone broth. Go check out that video. It's used with all organic chicken bones and all organic vegetables. So coming up on our concoction that you might say that we use when we drink 3 to 5 times a week, we use raw organic honey, and it is local honey because we want this to offset our allergies for what we're around. So try to find a source in your area that has raw organic honey from your area. You want to make sure it's from your area because it will help you build your immune system and help you offset those allergies. We also use organic ginger. Ginger is excellent. We use turmeric. Turmeric is great for inflammation. This is not only antiviral and antibacterial, but it's good for arthritis and it's good for your stomach ailments. So we use this, but it's really important to know that when you use turmeric, you need to add a little bit of black pepper with it because that's what makes it activate in your system. So we have organic lemons, elderberry syrup. This, guys, is a must this time of year. We drink this every day. When I go and do my zinc, selenium, and my potassium, I will take a teaspoonful of this elderberry. And then whenever my stomach is upset, I will use the ginger beer. Now, this is not fermented, so it's not really beer. There is no alcohol in it. But it does seem to settle my stomach. And this is also great for inflammation. You want to try to find this. It is expensive, I'll tell you that. But we don't drink it every day. I drink it maybe 2 times a week to try to offset inflammation in my system. So vitamin D is very important this time of year because I'm not outside. I'm not in the sunshine working in my garden, so I need to get my vitamin D. And then garlic. Garlic, guys, is the Lord's way of saying He can help you fight your viruses and your bacteria. This is also an antifungal, so if you need to keep some organic garlic on hand. And I'm going to show you how we incorporate all of this into a shooter drink that we will take 3 or 4 times a week, and especially if I start coughing or feel like a sore throat or feel like my sinuses are acting up, I will make the concoction I'm fixing to show you, and I'm telling you that it has kept me going throughout this whole year. We have our ginger peeled and sliced. We have our turmeric peeled. We have 2 cloves of garlic. We have 2 organic lemons. We have cayenne pepper, which is very important. This is going to stimulate your mucous membranes. And then we have our raw organic honey. And I'm going to show you how to make this concoction that we do about 3 to 4 times a week to make us feel much, much better. Let's get started. For each of our little jars here, we want 1 whole juiced organic lemon. So I'm going to juice this, and we are going to get it ready to put in our jars. And you can do this with a fork or a knife. You just want to make sure and get all the juice that you can, folks. Lemon juice is wonderful, especially for a sore throat and a cough. Got it all out. So now we're going to pour the lemon juice into one of our jars. This also strains out the seeds for you. So now we are going to chop up our turmeric, and you want to make this as fine as you can, because guess what you're going to do? You're going to shoot this down, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes it's rough, but it's so well worth it. So chop up your turmeric, which is good for viral and also anti-inflammatory. So let's put this in our little concoction here. Next, we're going to chop up our ginger. Again, make it as fine or as chunky as you think you can stand. This is really, really good stuff here. And I could drink it with the chunks. That sounds terrible, but I can. And now we are going to, this is 1 clove of garlic. We're going to put our garlic in our garlic press. And again, garlic is an antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antibiotic, and anti-mold. And so this is really good for me because certain times of the season, like right now when it's damp outside, my sinuses start to act up. So then we're going to add a little bit of honey. And again, this is raw, unfiltered, local honey. And you can add as much of this or as little as this as you want. You want to make it palatable so that whatever it is that you drink, this is how you want. And honey will make it go down much easier. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So here's our cayenne pepper. This is a 1/4 spoon, and I've kind of not filled it completely up, and I'm going to add this in here. We're going to stir that about, and then I'm going to add some hot water. We're going to stir. And now I'm going to add a dash of black pepper. You want black pepper because you have turmeric in here, and you want to be able to absorb this into your system. This is how you do it, guys. You drink it up, and you are all set to go. I do this in the evenings, and by the time morning rolls around and my alarm goes off, time to get up and go to work, I am feeling so much better. Bottoms up. Don't be fearful. Be faithful. Use what the Lord has given you. Cheers, everyone. This is going to help me stay healthy for the rest of the year. Take care. God bless. We appreciate each and every one of you. We ask that if you like this video that you subscribe to our channel. And then we also ask that you click the like button. There's lots more coming up. We have our gardening that's going on out front. We planted yesterday. There's going to be a video a little bit before this one that's going to show you what we planted, our cool weather plants. Stay tuned. We got lots of great things to help you and your family. Stay healthy and be self-sustaining this year. Take care.